Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of episode 40 of Round the Twist. We just finished up with what I've been knitting, ending with my shipwreck shawl. And now we're going to go to what's on or off my wheel. This is the yarn that I made on my new bee. I've ended up this last week plying up the 100% Australian wool from the Dyeing Arts in the colorway Tropical Fruit. I have no idea on the yardage. I just pulled it down from drying in the bathroom where it's been hanging for a few days. It's a worsted weight-ish 2-ply. It really puffed up when I washed. I was surprised by that. Some bits are thinner, some bits are thicker. I was just playing with the wheel to see what I could get. This is actually the first bit that I plied. And obviously there's over-plied, overspun areas in this. And that's because of an issue that I had with the bee, but yeah, I finished that 4 ounces. That's done. Haven't actually spun anything else, but I did come back, came home Saturday night, and that little bit that I'd plied, I'd been over, I'd been at a friend's house, and I'd been trying to ply. And, you know, something felt funny. It felt like something was rubbing in the wheel where it wasn't supposed to. And I just kept going, something's wrong, but I couldn't see what it was. There's a couple of tutorials online. The Spinolution group on Ravelry is fabulous. And I started going through looking at other people's problems and trying to diagnose what was wrong with mine. So, what I came up with, was... Okay, the carved wheel, this is the drive wheel. This connects to the treadles, and behind it, carved in the back, is what's called the Pitman Guide. Now in the drive wheel is a little metal bit. Hang on, let me see if I can get it so you guys can see. I'm sorry if you can't. I have my monitor off so I won't look at myself. It weirds me out. Okay. I don't know if you can see here. Try to get right in front. That little metal thing. There, that's the Pitman. Let's turn it. The screw to that, I'm sorry if you couldn't see it. I'll have to look later and see if you could. It's a bad angle. The screw holding the Pitman into the drive wheel had come completely unscrewed, but was still being forced into the back of the Pitman Guide. And that screw was actually gouging the wood inside the Pitman Guide at the end, not the sides, the sides are fine. But when I disassembled that whole thing, I had to undo a bunch of screws and take off an E-clip and slide everything out. It was fabulous. This whole pile of wood shavings fell out, and I freaked out a little bit. And then went, okay, it's fine. I pulled out my big box of tools. Thank you, Dad, for getting me all those. And I fixed it. So it's all screwed back together. It sounds like it's a common problem that people have had, and once you tighten it in, it should stay. If it doesn't stay, then they say just to add a drop of glue to the end of the screw it back in, and it will stay then. But it's all back together. It's working fine as far as I can tell. I haven't actually spun anything else on it, but we'll see. Just teeny little issue, but that's why this little skein, the plying is so, well, that's what I'm using the excuse. The plying is so bad on it because I was trying to ply and focus on the wheel instead of on what I was doing with my hands. So I finally stopped, got everything disconnected when I got home, and that's when, once I got it fixed, that's when I plied this big skein up, and that came out fabulous. But yeah, so that's it for what's on the wheel. Sorry, it's really warm in here tonight. Well, and I'm hauling heavy equipment around. All right. Finished object of the week. I've got a couple here to show you. Well, a couple examples of the same thing. The Rock and Weave pattern. This is from Blue Moon Fiber Arts. It was offered, it's currently up on the website as a pattern, and it was actually the first year of the club. The Rock and Sock Club was when I got the pattern in this color, Fairgrounds. The pattern's by A. Karen Alfke. And I did this first one in April 2006, so it must have been the April shipment that year. Fairgrounds, so these are 4 years old, and they've held up remarkably well. There's a little bit of pilling at the heel, but that's from the shoes I wear them with. I think they're adorable. I love these socks in the summer, even though they're medium weight, because they're just so fun. They're done on US 2s and US 5s, or 2.75 and 3.75 millimeter needles. Socks that rock medium weight. It takes less than a skein, even for my ginormous feet, my size 11s. And I've done them in the Fairgrounds colorway, which is currently up on the website. And then in Rocktober, which isn't right now, but I'm sure it'll be back in the fall. And I love them both. And the way these are constructed, it's a fabulous, fabulous construction method. You actually knit the cuff, but you knit it this way. So you've got this long, narrow thing, and you bind off with the picot edge, which I think is adorable because every picot seems to come out a different color. I think that's so cute. And then you pick up along one edge. So each sock has to go an opposite way, unless you want one to button on the outside and one to button on the inside. But you pick up along the bottom edge, and then you basically just knit a stockinette sock with a slip stitch heel the rest of the way down. So it's a fabulous mindless knit. I love it. You might notice on the Fairgrounds sock, it does call for buttons, and I put buttons on, and I don't have the second sock because it's on my foot. I actually wore these today, and yeah, I didn't feel like both my feet being cold, so I just have one cold foot right now. But it calls for buttons, so I put them on this one. But then in February 2007, when I did the Rocktober ones, you'll notice no buttons. I was lazy. It's been almost 3.5 years. I'm still too lazy to go out and buy buttons because you know what? A safety pin does the exact same thing. I'll put them on, I'll take the safety pin, I'll go in through one buttonhole, out through the other. Bam, they're ready. And I wear them like that. And then I also have a safety pin handy if I need them. I love this pattern. I love, love, love this pattern. The linen stitch of the cuff just shows off all the colors beautifully without them pooling. And you can either use the smooth side, like I did, to the outside, or you can go the other. Go the other way, and this other side is kind of bumpy. But either way, it's interesting. It's fun. But then, once you're done with that, it's nice and mindless for you to motor through. So, yeah, fabulous. Love those. In the summer, they're in pretty heavy rotation in my sock drawer. In the winter, I like my cuffs to be a little bit longer. But just personal preference. Do whatever you want. The pattern and the Fairgrounds colorway are available on the website, which I'll link to. But, yeah, I think that's it. Grab my coffee here, one more drink. Events coming up. We are a month out from Estes, or a month out from when I'll be at Estes. Very exciting. I know there's a bunch of us talking about it on Plurk. So if you're going to be there, we really need to go over to the Estes Park, the Estes Wool Market board on Rav. I'll start up a thread and see if we can do some kind of get together, meet and greet, breakfast out at the Egg and I, something. We have to have some kind of get together. We'll figure something out though, and I will see you guys next week. Happy knitting till then.